In this video, I will outline the strategic management process. The strategic management process is about the top management keeping the strategic plan current and relevant. The strategic business units, which are independently managed business units, then cascade the overall strategic plan to actionable strategic plans. The strategic management process starts with the junior level management providing input to the top level management, and the top level management prepare the strategic plan. This strategic plan is then passed on to the strategic business units where they prepare actionable strategic plans. The strategic management process has three phases: formulation, implementation, evaluation, and control. The first phase is formulation. It has 6 steps. The first step is setting the 3 statements: vision, mission, and value statement. Second is to examine the past and present strategies. Third is to diagnose past and present performance. Fourth is to examine long and short-term objectives overall, then at business units. Fifth is to take a stock of the strategic position. There are 2 methodologies: SWOT, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and 5 force model of competition. Sixth is to compare strategic plan alternatives. For example, Mercedes-Benz value statements. The vision statements is about building outstanding and fascinating vehicles. Mission statement is about we move you. Value statement is about integrity. In Mercedes-Benz, the past was about car to go. It was a product-driven enterprise. Now it is about we move you, and it's a customer-centric enterprise. Therefore, the strategy that is required is to transform it as car to go to we move you, from product-driven enterprise to a customer-centric enterprise. The strategy of Mercedes-Benz is move, perform, and transform. It identifies its strategy under 10 aspects. The first one is sustainability and climate protection. Second, markets and growth. Third, efficiency. Fourth, customers and brands. Fifth, electrification of drive system portfolio. Sixth, platforms and drive trends. Seventh, digital services and digital platforms. 8. Automated and autonomous driving. 9. Having partnerships. And 10. Culture and integrity. The strategic position of Mercedes-Benz can be examined through a SWOT analysis. Its internal strengths are a well-established brand. Manufacturing facilities are worldwide. It has a product portfolio from sedan, SUV to trucks. It's financially stable and has a stronghold in developing countries that are becoming wealthier. The internal weaknesses It has expensive after-sales service and maintenance and has an exclusive vehicle distribution. The opportunities presented for Mercedes-Benz is there's a shifting growth in Asian markets. Automobile is a growing industry within which Mercedes is located. And there's technological advances for hybrid and electric vehicles by the prospective customers and the existing customers. The threats for the Mercedes are high fixed costs and the huge investment makes in research and development, the volatile fuel prices, and the government regulations on global warming and on gas emissions. The second phase of the strategic management process is the implementation. There are 3 steps. First is enterprise structure. In that, there are systems and processes. Systems are the coherent collection of processes, and the processes are the policies and procedures. So they need to be examined constantly to ensure that the strategy could be implemented and the goals could be accomplished. Enterprise strategy is the second, is about matching and fitting the strategy with the enterprise structure or changing the enterprise structure first, but changing the enterprise structure can become an expensive exercise, especially when there are, for example, when there are high fixed costs. Third are the strategic business units and coming up with actionable strategy and to match with short-term and functional objectives. The third phase of the strategic management process is evaluation and control. There are 8 steps. Is to review the statement of values, and second is to examine the strategy along the lines of matching resources and opportunities. Third, to examine enterprise strategy plan with objectives. Fourth, to examine strategic business unit level strategy plan with objectives. Fifth, examine strategic business unit actionable strategy plan with objectives as short-term and long-term. Sixth, examine objectives measurable with key performance indicators. 7. Measure post-action variances in the key performance indicators. 8. Is to explain, reflect upon the revised actions based on the variances found in key performance indicators. In taking corrective action, the supply chain and value chain analysis can help. For example, an enterprise in the food industry can encounter a food contamination, and the food contamination may have risen from a supplier, and in that instance, the enterprise needs to review its supplier base and then ensure that suppliers meet the quality standards or the customer expectations that are required by the enterprise. The value chain also can help to examine the customer expectations and new expectations of the customers to add value to customers, and then review the inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales and service, along with the support activities to find out how the value could be increased. The strategy can change at corporate level. The strategy can also change at the business level. When it changes at the corporate level, the business level and the functional level strategy has to change. And when it changes at the business level, the functional level strategy has to change. The strategy is subject to change because the enterprise's capabilities and opportunities presented for the enterprise are subjected to change. When they change, the strategy change, and therefore the strategic plan and then this objective set to accomplish the strategic plan also changes, and therefore strategy is something that has to be constantly reviewed to embrace and accomplish opportunities presented for the enterprise. An example of the strategic position and its changes can be looked at through Volkswagen. Australia imported more than 57,000 vehicles between 2011 and 2015, but Volkswagen did not disclose to the Australian government of the existence of the two-mode software in their diesel vehicles. Volkswagen admitted that when switched to Mode 1 software for the purpose of emissions testing, the software caused its vehicles to produce lower nitrogen oxide emissions. When driven on road, the vehicle switched to Mode 2 software and produced higher nitrogen oxide emissions. Court found Volkswagen's conduct was blatant and deliberate, and in 2019, Federal Court of Australia ordered Volkswagen Germany pay 125 million in penalties for falsely representing about compliance with Australian emission standards. With this shattered image, Volkswagen reviewed its strategy. At the corporate and brand level, the strategic review and the changes could be identified as follows. It replaced the leadership. The CEO, Martin Winterkorn, resigned during the time when the software scandal was found, and the CEO was replaced by Matthias Müller, previously the head of Porsche. Second, it restructured the enterprise. The number of top managers who directly report to the CEO reduced by 50%, and it cut the compensation of the remaining senior executives by 37% in the first year of that CEO. Third, it redeveloped the strategy, especially emphasis on the value chain, embarked on developing new competencies in electrical vehicles, e-mobility, and connectivity. It rebranded the Volkswagen product with a significant move into electrical vehicles. Volkswagen recovered through these 4 actionable strategic plans to become the number one automaker. This brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I am Professor Indra Besepra.